Oklahoma. Quinnipiac, Miami just tipped off, and a little bit of that Cinderella in the tournament, guys. Quinnipiac, the 12 seed, take on the host Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, Jennifer Faye played so well in the first round. That's her with the basketball right there, working it inside. We know she likes to go to the spin
cycle.
And you know what, though? What happened? Drew a couple defenders. They're not going to let her go one-on-one.
Remember, Quinnipiac's coming off their first NCAA tournament win in program history. Defense there by the Canes, going the other way. It seemed like Quinnipiac wanted to run a little bit to come out the gates, Coach.
Well, they're playing the right team if they want to run, because Miami would love to go up tempo. They're really aggressive on the offensive end in terms of pushing the basketball, getting it down the floor as quickly as they can, and then in the half court, they love to attack with the dribble drive. Miami for years has had great guard play. They're a reflection of their coach, Katie Meyer's super aggressive basketball team. Here they come with full court pressure.
And as you know, a key against the full court pressure is going to be to take care of the basketball. Right now, Quinnipiac having a few issues just getting it over in time.
Yeah, and 19 seconds left on the shot clock when they finally did at least get to begin their offensive set.
What we see in Miami's first round game, it was a grind in the first half. Not a lot of points scored, but it ended up being one of the best games of the night. Tough shot right there by Quinnipiac. But Miami's happy to grind if they need to grind and then rely on some scoring in the second half. Adrienne Motley, their senior leading scorer, really struggled, fouled out in their first game. Look for her to have a better one tonight.
Ooh, nice pass by Kiana Hayes, though. And the finish there by Harris for Miami.
Having a little trouble with the pressure.
There it is. That's how you break it. That's Erin McClure. She was the conference tournament MVP for Quinnipiac.
That's one thing Miami loves to do, is the mid-range pull-up jumper. They're a team that has guards. Thomas, Motley, both can take and make the mid-range pull-up. Making threes is going to be big for Quinnipiac. They made a lot of them in the first half in their first-round game against Marquette.
Jen Faye knocking down her first. We saw her putting the move on with the dribble drive and the spin, but showing range as well. Red-hot Faye.
You know, this will be the challenge for Quinnipiac, defending the hard drives to the basket. Miami is a quicker basketball team, and they're going to attack the basket off of the bounce for 40 minutes.
Take a look at the Capital One starting lineups. We talked about Adrienne Motley. She fouled out of the last game for Miami with just 4 points, but she leads the team in scoring for the fourth straight year. And then for Quinnipiac, we talk a lot about Jen Faye. She had her third career 20-point game in the first round. And we've already talked about Erin McClure, who was the MVP of their conference tournament. So they have some players do the Bobcats of Quinnipiac as they're taking on Miami, and they're upset-minded for sure, because they never seemed down in the first round against Marquette.
Yeah, they showed really great poise in that first-round game. And, you know, especially a team that had never won an NCAA game before. Their coach was talking before the tournament, Trisha Fabry, we need to take the next step this year. And they did that in the first round, and they're in attack mode once again.
And that was a basketball game, their first game. That was reasonably close throughout the game, and when they made runs and got leads, they were comfortable. If they lost that lead, they came right back with an answer. They were just real impressive with their composure all afternoon.
Well, both teams right now, I mean, they're looking for some juice. Quinnipiac 2 for 6 right now from the field, but they're getting some open lanes and some pretty good looks at the basket.
Right here, though, once again, having trouble with the pressure of Miami. This is what Miami wants to do, make them uncomfortable.
The three no good that time for Motley, going the other way.
Miami's going to have to tighten up on the perimeter. They may have underestimated the shooting ability of Quinnipiac because they're giving them that three. They're going to have to tighten up and pressure a little bit.
And they can, outside, because they have the quickness to then guard them off the dribble drive.
You know, if they can play as aggressive as they do on the offensive end, they can D it up a little bit on the defensive end.
There you go. We're having a little bit of audio trouble right now at Quinnipiac, Miami. Jen Hildreth and Steffi Sorensen, they're on the call. We'll get you there as soon as we can, but until then, you're going to get this lovely studio
You're going to get this awesome play-by-play.
I mean, this is pretty much what we do in the studio anyway when we watch the game, so now you just get to listen in. Katie Meyer, you see her 6th NCAA tournament appearance with Miami. It was a tough one, not an easy road for Miami. They almost were upset by Florida Gulf Coast at home. Came down to a last-second shot by Kiana Hayes, a call in which Rebecca Lobo did not agree with, but we won't get into that again. Motley got it.
Nice look. Miami stays with the press. Quinnipiac's been successful when they've passed to the middle and then advanced it deep. They've actually gotten points.
And again, I'm telling you, but there's a couple layups that just haven't gone down.
Yeah, they've got that, you know, if you're coaching against the press, what you want to do is get the ball to the middle of the floor and then attack the basket before everybody gets back. The number one objective, pure and simple, when you're going against the press is get the ball behind the defense's front line of attack because then you have numbers. Those numbers may be 5 on 4, it may be 4 on 3, 3 on 2, 2 on 1, but you have numbers and you attack until you can get to the rim if that is the smart thing to do. At some point, you may have to decide to back it back out.
The defensive adjustment, as you were talking about before for Miami, is going to have to be to come out on those shooters because Quinnipiac has been able to make the shots from the perimeter.
Yeah, I would have thought that they would have had a better awareness, that Miami would have a better awareness of Quinnipiac's ability from the three-point line because, as you said, they're plenty quick. They can get out and pressure those shooters.
Well, Miami, they haven't reached the Sweet 16 since 1992. That was the school's 2nd NCAA tournament appearance. So Katie Meyer looking forward to advancing her team. Certainly not going to be easy. Quinnipiac already 2 for 2 from 3. We've seen Jen Fay line up and knock one down. And there she is again, not the spin move, though.
Now you've got to force them to put it on the floor and drive it just like she did if you're Miami. Get a little stunt and cover type help under those drives, force them to pick it up.
The horn said that was a clear offensive foul. On that screen, you can't even pretend that you didn't set it.
Quinnipiac going the other way.
That's the thing with bigs. Whenever you set a screen out on the perimeter, you're so big, you're so exposed. You can get away with some illegal moving stuff inside because there's so much congestion. But when you're on the perimeter, you better have your feet set or you're going to get whistled for it.
You better have it together. Do you like this zone for Quinnipiac right now, Coach?
Yeah, they're aggressive. They're trying to cover everything. They're leaving a gap between the corner and the wing, but they get it closed off pretty quickly.
But Kiana Harris, she's lined up and hit 2 threes so far in this one.
Little trouble. Middle of the floor, out and attack. Step back 3.
Ooh. How good has Quinnipiac been from the perimeter so far in this game, shooting the ball so well?
I think you need to call a timeout, Coach Lobo, and get this defense set.
They're 3 for 3 from the three-point line right now, Quinnipiac.
So at some point, Coach, do you bring the pressure back? It's not that it's not working. It has slowed down Quinnipiac, but they've had success on the back end of the press.
I don't think there's a benefit right now to pressing. You know, sometimes you can get out of a press, come back to it a little bit later, and it's much more effective. But right now, it's not having it.
From a big-time girl, post player. I like the no call. And here we are in a hot start. Both teams shooting 50% from the floor right now.
Missed free throw, but it wound up back in the hands of the Hurricanes, who are now 3 of 4 from downtown. Laura Cornelius is checked in for Miami. McClure.
You know, Miami has proven that they can win in a variety of ways. They can get it done inside. They can speed the game up. They can slow it down. They can win with their defense. We just wanted to see all of it put together. That's what Coach Meyer's been looking for, a complete game, but a hot start from the three-point line is so big for them in terms of their confidence.
There's nothing like seeing the ball go through the basket. That'll be Quinnipiac basketball. And we do apologize for some technical difficulties we were having earlier. But glad you're here with us now. It has been a red-hot pace to start this game. Both teams coming out with so much intensity. Katie Meyer The Miami Hurricanes trying to get to the Sweet 16 for the first time since the tournament expanded. The last time they made it there was 1992. Quinnipiac is ready to take their next step. They took a huge one with their first ever NCAA win in the first round, upsetting the Big East champs Marquette. It's Steffi. Miami never really looked comfortable for extended stretches in their win over Florida Gulf Coast on Saturday. Looking much better to start this game.
But they look tight. They look like a team that's hosting and that maybe was just playing not to lose, and so they look much more comfortable out here today. As you know, this is a Quinnipiac team that has nothing to lose. They're on the road. It's a loud environment. Miami's hosting, trying to get to their first Sweet 16 under Coach Meyer. But look relaxed, look composed. I like the defensive intensity.
Man's pulling the trigger. She's got a chance for a 4-point play.
Remember Coach Fabry telling us that Morgan Mans, if she gets in the game, she's going to shoot the basketball, and she certainly responds there.
Well, I seem to recall Coach Fabry telling us that at one point on Saturday, Mans wasn't shooting. She was being too unselfish. I think she got the message. Now, Mesa Hoff just picked up her second personal. 2 quick fouls against Hoff.
She was huge against FGCU. A 6'3" sophomore, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 offensive. And Miami was plus 15 against FGCU on the boards. It's another thing that we're watching for today. As Jessica Thomas knocks it down from the 3-point line. Jen, what about, you couldn't ask for a better start if you're Katie Meyer. When you go 1 for 14 from the 3-point line in your first game.
And Miami 4 for 5 from 3 to start this one off. Quinnipiac also 4 for 5 from 3. Look, I know Florida Gulf Coast owns the whole raining threes hashtag, but I think it is still
the trend is still going on here in Coral Gables.
Shot clock winding down. Man's a deep 3. That one maybe a bit too far out for the senior from Southbury, Connecticut, but didn't have much time to work with on the shot clock. Jen Fay will check back in. You mentioned it earlier, but Jen Fay was a force to be reckoned with against Marquette. 20 points, 4 steals, a couple of spin moves for a little extra bonus points.
Martucci getting out into 9. Jessica Thomas, she is a tremendous defender.
You love defense. You just watch number 3 right there. Watch her work against the other number 3. Fabry, pull it back out. And you know Mans thought about it. Instead, Fabry will take it and make it.
That's what makes this team so good. They're so unselfish, recognizing a good shot versus a great shot.
That's going to be an offensive foul against Laura Cornelius. That arm out right in front of the referee. Stephanie Bird was right there. In fact, even got caught up a little bit after the fact, but saw that arm out from Cornelius. So it'll be Quinnipiac basketball.
The Bobcats just have to make sure they're catching, squaring up, being strong with the basketball.
And is fouled on the way there. The first on Erica Davenport. And Faye will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Jen, we had such a good conversation with Jen and Adelie Martucci. And Jen Faye is a player who sat out all of last season with an injury and has come back with a vengeance. And Martucci credited her for getting in the gym, putting in all the work, and it's been so rewarding to just watch her come out here and play at such a high level.
Tomorrow, NBA Special Edition doubleheader on ESPN. Starting at 7 o'clock, the Bulls will be in Toronto to face the Raptors. Then at 9:30, San Antonio and Minnesota. Both games streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. time. 1 minute to play in the first quarter. Martucci getting a hand in the passing lane.
It's a Quinnipiac team in the non-conference that faced a tough Oregon State team where Martucci guarded Sydney Weiss and really controlled her. So she's going to try and do the same thing against Jessica Thomas.
Thomas showing off some moves of her own to try to get a look. She'll go to the free throw line. First foul against Martucci.
And great recognition by Thomas, understanding that with the pressure that Martucci is going to put on her, that she can go and dribble right at her, knowing that she's going to try and block the shot. If you watch the previous game where Martucci went up and blocked Heidemann shot, you understand that you can get her up off her feet. I know that this is a player that Coach Fabry really doesn't want to take out because of foul trouble.
Ten points in the game for Thomas. Kiana, they call her Kiki Harris, will check back in. She has 10 points. Edel Thornton got past the pressure that time. Schuin saw an opening. You know she's going to take that three. It's been the story of the game so far for both teams. Harris looked like she had Davenport, but credit Erin McClure for coming out of nowhere to break that up. Zeta Williams making a rare appearance for Miami with 21 seconds left in this first quarter. Sophomore out of Babson Park, Florida. Quinnipiac with the ball and a 1-point lead.
It's that isolation play where Erin McClure can just go one-on-one. Miami recognizes it.
Thornton. That won't go, but the offensive rebound is a good one. Erin McClure will go to the free throw line.
Second effort. It's going to be so big here in this game. Both teams love to get after it on the rebounding side. Kiki Harris looking like, I didn't foul there. But Erin McClure up to the line, and I've been so impressed with her, Jen, so far here in this tournament. Coach has a lot of faith in her in terms of just making the right reads and decisions, especially late in the shot clock. You can see where the ball got in her hands with just 10 seconds left.
McClure was the MAC Rookie of the Year a year ago. Member of the All-Tournament team, averaging just under 15 points per game this season in the conference tournament. And she has 6 tonight. Thomas, a chance for a heave from half court. What a first quarter. Jessica Thomas have just been outstanding here early for Miami.
Yeah, Kiki Harris, the 6-foot junior, is a high-energy player. She did a lot, I felt like, against FGCU, but it just wasn't in terms of scoring. But her and Thomas today have been so aggressive. Haven't really even needed to get the ball inside to Harris. They've been hitting from out front.
Turn it away that time. .15 on the shot clock for Faye. She works her way around to get a look off the glass and in.
Could have been a foul, too. I felt like she got pushed.
Thomas hounded by Martucci. And that's going to be an offensive foul. It might get Hayes there on the screen.
Here comes the read for Faye. She sees the defense is going to switch. She slips to the basket, and that's what makes this Quinnipiac offense go. They read the opposing team's defense is very high IQ. Katie Meyer knew that coming into this game. So you can throw different looks at them defensively, but they're going to read and react.
That shot will bounce up and over, so Miami basketball. But this Quinnipiac team, so balanced. We showed you it's been largely Thomas and Harris for Miami. There are 4 players with 6 points for Quinnipiac. Got a foul this time against the Bobcats as Motley was driving. Erin McClure picks up her second. And Trisha Fabry telling us, I won't play players with 2 fouls. And she sees 2. McClure is going to go to the bench for a little while. McClure, one of those players with 6 points for the Bobcats. Motley leads the Hurricanes in scoring for the 4th straight season and does just enough there to draw some contact.
Adrian Motley is so efficient and great off the bounce. Usually we see the mid-range pull-up here. Gets herself to the free throw line, which should be good for her confidence. This is a player who fouled out against Florida Gulf Coast, had just 4 points. I think she's under the realization this is her last game here on her home court. I mean, we talked to her and had a nice message to her teammates.
Yep, she said, you know, I said, I bet you're happier than just about anybody to get another chance to play again. She said, you have no idea. That's the understatement of the year. And you can see what she's done. Averaged 18 points per game in her 3 previous NCAA tournament games for Miami, including a 30-point effort. That's the most ever for a Hurricane in an NCAA tournament game. It was not the way Adrian Motley wanted to finish her career, the way she played on Saturday.
Despite the lack of production from Motley, it just speaks to the balance, though, of Miami, that they're able to win in advance. And here competing with Quinnipiac, without Motley largely putting numbers up.
That was just the first point in this game for Motley. Martucci going baseline, and Harris will be whistled for the foul. Kiki Harris with those 10 points. It's the 6th time in her career that she scored in double figures. She's a junior. It's the 4th time this season. She is normally not one of those that contributes a lot of points, but she's been big tonight. Martucci in some trouble, picked up her dribble. Faye bails her out from the elbow.
Keep an eye on now, Martucci guarding Motley.
Denise Bailey into the game for Miami, immediately to the basket, and that is just all effort right there from Key Hayes.
Against FGCU, Miami's best shot was sometimes their second shot. It was offensive boards, and that was the game plan for Coach Fabry, was to keep Miami to just 1 shot because of plays like that with Kiana Hayes. You can't stop it when she is relentless in attacking the offensive glass.
Men's ice hockey skates toward the Frozen Four in Chicago. Regional semifinals begin Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2 and watch ESPN. You can also visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. Miami had a plus 15 rebounding margin over Florida Gulf Coast. To your point, Stephanie. Outscored the Eagles 12-2 in second chance points, and that was just a 2-point victory for the Hurricanes. Fabry had Schuin a little too deep, but she still spun her way around to a pretty decent look. Motley driving, has it blocked by Strugmane.
Quinnipiac, great team defense, always rotating over, helping defenders. Martucci's there to meet Motley, but Strugmane with a block. How'd I do on the...
Yeah, it was really good.
Okay, thank you.
Hala Strotmane from Latvia. Gaining possession for the Bobcats. The spin move by Fabry. It's out of bounds, and it'll be Miami basketball. The Hurricanes have had a couple of free throws mixed in here and there, but haven't made a field goal since the 2:36 mark of the first quarter.
Really got to establish Key Hayes in the post. But we have to credit Quinnipiac with the rotating over on defense, and take a look at the numbers here. Miami getting out rebounded.
Miami ball under the basket. There is Hayes, who you said you imagine is one that they want to get going. Cornelius, an unlucky roll, but Bailey hitting the offensive glass. And it has got to be offensive rebounds like those that are exactly what Trisha Fabry was talking to us about, that they cannot afford to give up in this game. Thomas driving, blocked again by the Bobcats. This team isn't all that tall, but they have their fair share of shot blockers. Oh, Motley! Not in my house!
Block City. Quinnipiac, they do it on one end and comes back the senior. Not today. Great play by Adrian Motley. This game has been so much fun to watch.
Oh my gosh.
On both ends.
The rebound by Schuin, and she is fouled. It's the first personal against Jessica Thomas.
Sarah Schuin really has one job when she goes out there. She'll look to shoot, but she's a rebounder. She had 8 against Marquette. This is a team that's really balanced. They know their roles. They go out there and do them.
Yeah, her 2 3-pointers that she knocked down, that's really bonus when she gives you that kind of scoring. Perfect trip to the free throw line for Schuin.
All right, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, so audio is out, but the studio is in. Maria Taylor, Rebecca Lobo, and Andy Landers will be on the call for Miami and Quinnipiac. It's the 4-12 matchup, and just like that, Coach, the Bobcats with a little bit of a lead and a cushion with just about 5 minutes to play in the second quarter.
You said we will be on the call.
Yeah, we're on the call. This is our game now.
I like it. We've got a little upset brewing here.
We do. Maybe that's why he keeps coming to us. Ooh, 3.
Both these teams are shooting lights out from 3. Quinnipiac 7 of 11. Miami now 5 of 7. Coming into this one, I thought it'd be a little bit more of a defensive battle, but they've gotten their stroke going, especially from the perimeter.
And you saw that, Rebecca. Jessica Thomas 3 for 3 from beyond the arc right now.
Quinnipiac so patient. They know what they're looking for. They know who they want to take shots from where, and they're disciplined to move the ball until that happens.
Paula Stroutman, she knocked that down. The 6-foot sophomore for the Bobcats. And a foul called on Quinnipiac's end, so...
I can't be honest.
You know, Jen, before this game went live, I was watching the UConn game, and going into the half, they had 20 assists on 21 made field goals. Right now, Quinnipiac 11 on 12 made field goals. So they're state of Connecticut, man.
They're doing something right.
Yes.
Quinnipiac at 12, the lowest seed and the lone mid-major team remaining in the NCAA tournament. Martucci, what a move! Everything but the finish. Big smile.
Today, Unlimited gets the network.
They are 2 for 10 on layups. So you wonder if that's the type of stat that could come back to haunt you if you don't improve upon it once you get into the postseason against a talented team like Miami.
Or for Miami, force them to make layups. Take their three-point shot away, overly play the three-point line.
Hayes, who was quiet in the first half, takes the first shot of the second. And then a take away by Harris. Davenport can't get it to go. Quinnipiac won the rebounding battle in the first half. That was going to be a key in this game. Out-rebounded Miami by 3. So if you're Miami, what do you think they want to establish early? That, perhaps?
Well, it's going to be up to Adrian Motley. She's just got to play confident. She's got to be assertive. She's got to look for her shot early, and a good sign for Katie Meyer. Because Miami's better when Motley's playing well. They've got great balance, but when you got your senior really in rhythm and playing.
She's going to take another one, Motley. Jen Fay had 8 points in the first half. Quinnipiac as a 12 seed trying to join that group and make it to the Sweet 16. They have a glittery gold step stool that they keep in their locker room, Quinnipiac, that is representative of the steps that they want to take. The next step. They took the first big step, getting their first ever NCAA win against Marquette in the first round. Hayes has to hurry and take this shot. Motley is fouled as she goes after the rebound, or at least it appeared that way. Now they will talk about it. It's going to be Miami basketball, but initially the call pointed the other way, and the fans let the referees hear about it. Indeed, it is the third personal on Erin McClure.
She's going to have to play much smarter than that as this game continues to develop. She's got to be out there to play. She was big in the first half, and then she got in foul trouble, had to sit on the bench.
Faye trying to get in and take it away. Instead, it's a foul, and that is also her third foul, Steffi.
So you adjust. If you're a player and you notice 2 quick, really early fouls by the referees, you got to understand that those plays that you're trying to lean in for, that extra little tough push you thought you could get away with, you can't, so you have to adjust.
Thomas was sensational in the first half with 17 points. Davenport working the rebound.
Wow. Jen Fay's 4th foul.
Oh my.
A reminder for our audience at home, Jen Fay in the first round game against Marquette had 20 points, 4 steals. Was terrific. You can see the frustration on her face. It's a big foul, and now Miami needs to capitalize without her on the floor. See if they can go on a run of her own.
Miami went on a 6-0 run to end the first half. Motley driving through traffic and is fouled. And these really could start to add up to some trouble for Quinnipiac. That's the second on Martucci. Adrian Motley has already exceeded her total from the first round game, but you know she wants a lot more than that for this team.
Expect to see some more pressure from Miami. They had great success with that in the first half. Here does an offensive rebound.
Erica Davenport's been big off the glass in the first few minutes of this third quarter. Hayes driving. Around and out.
And keep an eye on Sarah Schuin. She's not in the game now, but she's the player that really matched up against Erica Davenport when she came into the game.
We'll see if Trisha Fabry brings in Schuin. Mans had a big first half. And McClure is going to draw the foul on Kiki Harris. That's her third. Coverage of the Division I Men's Basketball Championship Regional Semifinals begins Thursday on CBS and TBS at 7 p.m. Eastern. For more information on game times and listings, you can go to ncaa.com. Hard to pick out one superstar for this Quinnipiac team. But that's a big shot right there for a big senior in Martucci. It's her first field goal. Hayes again trying to get to that rim. This time she does get it to go.
Great take by Hayes.
McClure from the baseline. We've seen her hit that shot a couple of times now in this tournament.
And she's a player that will respond. Even after Miami makes, she'll come back right down there and knock it down. That's what this game has been all about, is responses to runs.
Thomas trying to play make. Let's see what the call is. Looks like a foul on the floor. No basket. And that is on Martucci, her third. Martucci coming over to her head coach, Trisha Fabry, who told us that this senior really embodies the grit, the toughness, the fight that this Quinnipiac team has shown all season long. And you know that little whisper in her ear was saying, I'm trusting you right now, Tooch. Trusting you with those 3 fouls.
This is by no means a selfish team. It's what makes them special. It's what got them here to this situation where there's some adversity. Jen Fay picking up 4 fouls. Other players can step up. It's been the motto that Coach Fabry has really lived by and has had so much success with. That trap out of the 2-3 zone.
Well, Fabry had it in her hands, but it was a little bit behind her. Thomas finding Motley. And how often have those two hooked up in their careers here in Miami? 2 of 3 1,000-point scorers out on the floor for the Hurricanes right now, along with Kiana Hayes. Thomas having to work hard off that dribble. And a finish.
She is shaking and baking tonight. One-on-one, they're running off 2-on balls. Just let her go to work. And Martucci's a tremendous defender, but here's that full-court pressure I talked about. Miami did a nice job in that first quarter. I saw Quinnipiac be patient. They had good looks.
Martucci hits another 3. Had to be careful that time defending Thomas, did Martucci. Hayes up and over the defense. Kiana Hayes has averaged over 17 points per game, shot 64% in her last 6 games, including the first-round win over FGCU. Strotmane turnaround is good.
Quinnipiac so smart offensively, understanding a mismatch. Strotmane had Jessica Thomas on her.
Oh, and that's going to be foul number 4 on Martucci. Thomas just staying patient right there. There was a little bit of
season long and been so humble about it too.
Pretty incredible what Plum has done.
Chantel Osahor, just so fun to watch.
You forget about Osahor at times. But you shouldn't. She leads the nation in rebounding. And rare empty trip to the free throw line, but Davenport makes up for it on the glass. Can Miami get a little bit closer? They get the ball.
And the key word to watch here is composure. Which team plays with the most composure to finish this game out? Does Miami play like a team that is too tight? Does Quinnipiac play to not lose?
Right.
Those are two things to watch for.
Mesa Hoff in the game for Miami, working around Mans. The reverse won't go. It'll be Miami ball.
Quinnipiac has done a nice job of really neutralizing Mesa Hoff, who was fantastic against FGCU. She hasn't been able to really get going.
Yep, just took one field goal attempt in the first half. Missed it. And the balance in this Quinnipiac team is going to have to really be there for them tonight. Off the inbounds, the block by McClure. That looked like an automatic 2 for Hayes, and McClure came flying out of nowhere. Schuin in the game now. You mentioned her work on the interior earlier. 8 on the shot clock as Fabry comes to get it. She'll drive. Too much to try to go up and over Hoff as Mesa at 6'3" just stood her ground.
Miami doing a much better job defensively in the half court, recognizing that Quinnipiac's just running a basic flex offense, making reads off of it. Jessica Thomas, the point guard, calling out what plays that Quinnipiac is running.
McClure now handling the ball at the top, gets the trap, found Strotmane at the free throw line. No player on this Quinnipiac team earned all-conference first-team recognition this season, despite the fact that they were the champions of that conference. That tells you about how tough they are to defend because of how many different players contribute.
Coach Fabry's system is really a 5-out, 5-in, kind of like a line change in hockey. But with the injury of Brittany Johnson, the 5'11" junior, that altered her style a little bit, where she couldn't go 5-in, 5-out and keep up the type of pace that she wanted to. But when you recruit that type of player who understands you're going to come in 5 fresh new bodies, there has to be a type of unselfishness that comes with that type of recruit and player, and current players that understand that.
.21 in the game for Thomas. The lead is 6 for the Bobcats, who are under some pressure. Jen Fay is on the bench. Adelie Martucci on the bench. 2 of the key players for the Bobcats. McClure, 2 on the shot clock. Gets it off, and then the offensive rebound demands. Finds Schuin for an open 3. Motley in the corner. This place was ready to explode if Adrian Motley could have knocked that one down. And then McClure is getting a little out of control, turns it over. The journey to the Frozen Four in Chicago continues with regional semifinals and finals. The puck drops on a live tripleheader Saturday at 3:30 Eastern on ESPNU and Watch ESPN. And visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. 5 turnovers in this quarter for Quinnipiac. Hoff wide open for 2. A lot of trouble for Fabry. They're going to have to hurry to get it over half court. They just barely do. McClure trying to get it to Mans. Now in the corner for 3. Thomas has Hayes, pulls up from the corner and drains it.
How good has Thomas been? A senior.
The first quarter. But foul trouble for Quinnipiac has reared its ugly head, and these Hurricanes have really turned it on.
Haley much stronger with the basketball, and we can talk about the balance and depth for Quinnipiac as much as you want, but there's nothing like having Jen Fay.
That helps. Morgan Mann's doing what she was doing in the first half. That's a season-high 4th three-pointer for the senior. Nice move on the other end. You think these seniors for both teams are playing with a sense of desperation and intention right now? Foul on the floor as Miami tried to trap Fabry.
The coaching staff right now for Quinnipiac just telling their team to just slow it down. Understand the pressure is coming from Miami. They understand the moment. They're trying to get back in this game, use their defense to speed the Bobcats up, but Quinnipiac's just got to be strong with the basketball. Keep that dribble alive. Don't pick it up right across half court and be patient. The looks will come.
Final 30 seconds of the quarter. Stromani trying to get it to McClure. Schuin. No panic here from Fabry and the Bobcats as she drives up and over Hoff. How brave is that?
And making the layups. That's what we talked about at halftime. They had that nice stat, but they had missed way too many.
2 for 10 was Quinnipiac on layups in the first half. 2 seconds now for Thomas. Contested shot. That won't go. And it is a 5-point game as we head to the 4th. Rick in the house tonight. Great to see him out here cheering on the
starting spring football right around the corner.
Cannot believe that.
Hit a top 15 rated class.
Finished ranked 20th in the country a year ago on the gridiron. His first year with the Hurricanes, his alma mater. Hoff couldn't get the bucket, but will get the free throws. That's the second on Stromani, and we've got both Jen Fay and Adelaide Martucci at the scorer's table, ready to come in. Martucci playing with 4 fouls as well as Fay, who went back to the bench. And Martucci is in. Hoff cuts the lead to 3. Miami has not led since the first quarter of this game. And this press has been effective at times. Great poise shown, though, by these Bobcats. Quinnipiac has found a way to come up with some big baskets. Hang on to their lead just like that. McClure has 10. Hayes driving, full head of steam to the basket.
She hasn't settled for the outside jumper. She's gone right to the paint. So quick off the bounce, too, for her size.
That's her bread and butter. That is how Miami wound up winning the game against Florida Gulf Coast. They went into Hayes inside. She made a powerful move. Mans has 5 triples tonight. Davenport to the rim. Only problem with the inside-outside game is it gets more points for the outside shots from Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac with 13 made threes. That's 1 off their season high. McClure, offensive foul. That's number 4.
Let's see if Cornelius gets in position. Well, she's straight up. So the right call by the referees, and tough break for Aaron McClure, another player with 4 fouls. And what you're seeing now is Miami understanding the foul trouble and going right at the rim, knowing that no players are going to rotate over and risk taking a charge and getting a block called.
Hayes to Hoff.
All day.
Miami within 2. Fabry just dribbles out of trouble. Mans, oh, she's been hot. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. 6 threes in the game for Mans, the senior, trying desperately to help these Quinnipiac Bobcats take a giant step forward in this NCAA tournament.
How quick she's ready to shoot that ball. Catch and shoot so quick, and reminding her teammates, let's go. As we built this lead, let's keep it.
Quinnipiac, as you can see, 2 off the school record of three-pointers made as a team. Thomas just off the front of the rim. Quinnipiac has never beaten a team from the ACC. They've never beaten a ranked team. Miami was ranked number 16 at the end of the season. Bobcats 0-9 all time in both of those categories. Can they change that tonight? Stortmane driving on Davenport.
They space out on offense so well. They bring the bigs from Miami up the free throw line and go right to the basket. No help side. 1 through the 4, they can go small ball with her and not skip a beat. Obviously, they want to have coats, but that is definitely interesting in terms of our matchup and the winner who goes on to Stockton.
Motley from the corner, around and out. Hayes, the rebound. You said it at the beginning, Steffi, that this game could be won or lost on those second chance opportunities. And Kiana Hayes has played with an incredible determination, especially here in the second half. Unfriendly roll. You're supposed to get those on your home floor. Miami just 14 of 22 from the free throw line. As a team for the season, they only shoot 67%.
Jen Fay back in the game. Expect Miami to go right at her when she's guarding someone.
And as aggressive as she is going to the basket, you know, she's got to be careful too. Miami aware of it on this end as well to potentially draw a charge. McClure. Fay gets it. Has it blocked, but a foul by Hoff.
Play breaks down. Jen Fay, though, comes to the basketball, makes that play happen. If she waits on it, that's a steal for Miami.
Fay had 20 points in the win over Marquette. She had 8 points in the first half tonight, but has had to spend a lot of time on the bench in foul trouble.
She's a gamer, though. We saw her come up with some big buckets in the fourth quarter against Marquette.
Natalie Martucci on the bench with her 4 fouls. On the floor with 4 for Quinnipiac was Fay. She went back to the bench. And McClure also will get a break. She has 4. Trisha Fabry having to be very careful on how she uses her players here down the stretch. Thomas finds Hayes, skipping it around to Motley. She pulls up for the jumper. There's that friendly roll. Harris challenging Edel Thornton. Stromane will take the shot. Not what she was looking for. And it feels a little bit right here, Steffi. We've had moments in this game where teams were both executing at a high level back and forth. Right now, it kind of feels like that momentum is out there waiting for somebody to grab it. Hoff wants it badly in the post. Instead, it's Hayes. What a look from Motley.
It's a player that hit the game-winning shot to send them to this game. She has proven she can step up and hit clutch shots. I think you have to continue to ride this hot hand with Key Hayes if you're Miami on the offensive side of the floor.
It's a one-possession game. The crowd can sense it here in Coral Gables. Hoff has the block, and it'll be Miami basketball.
Hoff may not have been here offensively and producing points, but what a block for her. Rotates over. And Thornton just undersized. And that's the difficult of this matchup with Hayes and Hoff in the post.
3 players with 4 fouls are now on the floor for Quinnipiac. Motley again was looking for that pass to Hayes. A little better defended this time with Jen Fay around her. Martucci back on Thomas. Stromane got her hand on the ball. It is Miami basketball. 5 seconds, though, on the shot clock.
Something Miami really worked on in practice was out-of-bounds plays. 5 seconds there, executing.
Thomas.
It's the look they wanted, coming off the double screen. Jessica Thomas has had a really good night shooting the basketball. Just came up empty. Quinnipiac, though, needs a bucket.
Martucci saves that one from going out of bounds. Fabry demanding some help from McClure. 5 seconds on the shot clock for the Bobcats. McClure on Motley did beat the buzzer, but can't make the basket. Thomas to Hoff. Motley's wide open if she can get it there, but she can't. Jump ball. Possession arrow, Quinnipiac. (71-68). Quinnipiac still out in front. And we welcome those of you just joining us. The Quinnipiac Bobcats have already gotten one of the biggest upsets of this tournament when they took down the Big East champs from Marquette. They're trying to do it again, this time to 4th-seeded Miami on the Hurricanes' home floor. Fay over Hayes. No whistle. Thomas pulls it back. Ooh, what a look! 1-point game. Trisha Fabry watching her daughter Carly, trying to maintain control for Quinnipiac. That'll be a touch foul against Thomas.
Katie Meyer went Jessica Thomas to Key Hayes to win the game against Florida Gulf Coast. Why not go at it again? It works, and Kiana Hayes, another big game for the senior.
17 points for Hayes, right about what she's been averaging the last half dozen games. It's a 6-0 run for Miami. McClure, can she get that bucket? Yes, she can.
A player that you can put one-on-one isolation right at Key Hayes.
The lead back to 3 for the Bobcats. Miami has not led since the first quarter. Hoff with her left hand. Batted around. Bobcat basketball.
And with the battle on the boards, especially as 2.5 minutes remains here, limiting Miami to just one shot and getting the rebound.
Hoff just picked up her 4th foul in that scrum under the basket, so she'll go to the bench.
Seen great poise from the coach's daughter, Carly Fabry.
This Quinnipiac team said nobody else believed they could make it to this game except for themselves. Now they're trying to will their way to their first ever Sweet 16. Martucci just inside the three, around and out. But Jessica Thomas and the Miami Hurricanes want their first taste of the Sweet 16. Thomas can't get it. Hayes on the glass. Miami last went to the Sweet 16 back in 1992 before the tournament expanded. But Mans executing beautifully for Quinnipiac.
Morgan Mans has been everywhere for the Bobcats today, and she just cuts right to the basket in front of the face of the Miami defender, Key Harris, who was slow to rotate over.
Career high 20 points for Morgan Mans. That was her first two, by the way.
Should point that out.
Yes.
She's been lighting it up from behind the arc.
6 3-pointers for the senior. We welcome you to a fantastic matchup here in Coral Gables. Jen Hildreth, Steffi Sorensen, Jessica Thomas has had a fantastic night for the Hurricanes, but they still trail the 12 seed Quinnipiac by 3. Fabry will commit the foul. That's her third. The Bobcats have been walking a tightrope for much of this second half with several of their key players in foul trouble. Their senior Adelie Martucci has 4. Erin McClure has 4 as well as Jen Fay. Thomas was hot early from 3.
Gotta think Hayes here, a little high-low, swing it.
Motley spinning. Tried to get over Martucci. Got her own rebound, though. It has not been the type of game Adrian Motley would have wanted for herself, but she keeps fighting.
Again, extra possessions for Miami, though. We talked about offensive rebounding and limiting Miami to just one shot. That's back-to-back possessions. But Quinnipiac has been unable to do so. And with a minute left, that has to be the priority. So keeping players in front of them, they just got to finish the play.
Miami now in the bonus. So they will be shooting 2 from here on out. Both teams will be. Motley promised her team she'd be there for them down the stretch in this game. Said she wouldn't let them down. After fouling out in the first round, she once again pulls the Hurricanes within 1. Strotmani breaking through everyone. Martucci! Tooch!
Season high, 15 three-pointers made for Quinnipiac. It's been a game of runs, but that was a senior making a big-time bucket for the Bobcats. Keep an eye on Thomas, Hayes, and Motley. All 3 seniors from Miami. Last opportunity to play here in Coral Gables.
Now it's Mans on the defensive end with the block. Precious time ticking away against the Hurricanes. And Quinnipiac called a timeout. So especially, is that still the game plan, or do they have to think about needing that outside presence, that three-point shot down 4?
We got to look for it. They've shot really well so far from the three-point line in this game, and you can always attack off the miss.
McClure attacking on the other end. I believe the ball was kicked, is what our official Eric Bruton was saying on the baseline. Timeout on the floor. 35 seconds, Miami down 4.
Really, that's where the review comes in handy, where you can make the right call going to the monitor.
Harris trying to pick up the foul, and does, although that is her 5th. So she'll have to take a seat. Ten points in the game. She was huge early in this game for Miami.
Tremendous energy, but the scoring really helped Miami when they were in some holes.
Adrian Motley's not had her best night, and it was really Jessica Thomas and Kiana Harris who carried this team in the first half. It's been more the inside game with Key Hayes in the second half. But right now, McClure on the free throw line. She's 3 for 3 there this evening. That one around and out. And Miami will take a timeout. Right now, we've got a 5-point game. Miami electing to advance the ball off that timeout. Are you thinking Hayes here?
A quick score. And then get right into your press.
Hoff hangs on to it. Gets it to Motley. She loses it. Hayes picks it up and is fouled.
Motley trying to make something happen, but again, the defense of Quinnipiac, it's been there all game long. Someone's had a hand on the ball, someone's just rotated over, make things difficult. But Hayes just making a play.
So Hayes at the free throw line. She's 3 of 4 tonight. Is the 62% free throw shooter on the season. Miami wondering if they have enough left here to finally get back out in front of this Quinnipiac team that has been so good in this tournament.
Katie Meyer going with Davenport to really put some pressure on the inbounder, try to force a steal or a turnover.
Hayes can make it a 1-possession game if she makes this one. And she does. Now Quinnipiac will take the timeout.
Play with poise. That's really what put them over the hump against Marquette. You need it here with 27 seconds.
Fabry to inbound. Cornelius slipped, and then Hayes immediately commits the foul, her 3rd. That'll put McClure on the free throw line. Erin McClure, 73% from the line for the season. In the MAC championship game, she was 12 of 14 to help Quinnipiac get that win over Ryder.
Jen Fay, who has been watching in large part on the bench, Jen, I mean, she had 20 points against Marquette, and there's just been so many players who've stepped up big for Coach Fabry's team.
The lead 5. Thomas driving. Oh, was kicking to Cornelius. Those two out of sync. Pressure really starting to mount now on Miami.
Thomas has got to shoot this. She's got an opportunity. She's got to shoot that basket. She's got to shoot the basketball there.
I mean, you need 2 baskets regardless. Instead, it's a turnover. Martucci. Jump ball. And it's Miami ball. Martucci just trying to be careful there, but credit Miami.
Talk about being strong with the ball. Put yourself in a situation where you're not in trouble. And baseline and picking it up is just asking for it. And Hoff's back in the game. Look for her offensive rebounds.
Miami's got to get some points here. It's batted away by Mans. Morgan Mans has been phenomenal tonight. And she and these Bobcats who wave the towel for their teammates over there on the bench, they're starting to taste this.
So stifling Quinnipiac team on defense. Holding their opponents to 35%, but they play team defense. Rotating over Morgan Mans, active hands, makes a huge play.
Trisha Fabry has always said it is a family affair. That's her son, Paul Henry. You think he's into this? Have left.
Keep an eye on Laura Cornelius. They need a three-pointer. They need a three-pointer.
Haven't made one this half. Thomas takes it that time. And there's a foul. Looked like the immediate call from Eric Bruton that it was intentional as well. And the possession after the free throws, obviously what makes this so heart-wrenching if you're Miami. Quinnipiac, 84 points on the board. They're 15-0 this season when they score over 70. They blew that out of the water tonight, in large part to that three-point shooting. Sweet 16 chance breaking out around the Watsco Center, and it's not for the home team. Miami having to be a little bit careful as they do commit the foul, but that one on the ball as McClure had it.
It's a tough break for Cornelius. You're attempting to foul before the ball comes in, and the referee makes that decision. Coach Fabry just saying inbound the basketball.
It's a delay of game warning issued against the Hurricanes. Faye will hustle back in to inbound it.
But your best decision maker to make this pass.
And she's thinking baseball all the way. Best decision maker, probably best arm. Cornelius to Motley. The last shot of her Miami career won't go in. And the Quinnipiac Bobcats' dream run continues.